on overwintering papyrus. You want to check for insects or diseases. You want to repot it when you bring, after you bring it in, because it's coming out of the pot. You want to make sure that it is in water all winter long, and you want to make sure it has really high amounts of light. So if you want more details, stick around and we're going to get to it. Hi, my name is Susie, and we have 2 acres right on the edge of zones 5 and 6. And many of the annuals that we buy are actually tropicals, and so they're perennials which live year-round in the warmer climates. Now, overwintering plants can be a real challenge because of our low light and low humidity levels, but if we give a plant what it needs, they can actually thrive until the next spring. This plant was $10, and I feel like gardening is an investment, and leaving this outside would be like throwing money away. So I want to get the most value, or keep the value of a plant as long as I possibly can. So the first step that we want to do is check for insects or diseases on this plant. Now this one has, you can probably see it has a lot of brown tips on it. We have had frost like 2 or 3 times before I actually brought it inside. And so it may not look real healthy, but it is. It has some new growth down here, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But papyrus are pretty much disease-free, insect-free. So, I would check for spiders. I tend to have a lot of spiders in my area, and I don't see any of that on this plant. So my next step is going to be to repot it. So part of this repotting process is going to involve cutting it back some, for just mostly because it's so big. This is, like I said earlier, this is a baby tut. And it's only supposed to get 2 feet tall. It's hard for you to tell here because I have it actually sitting up on the chair. But this thing is still about 4 feet tall. And there's some shorter bits over here, which is actually what it should be. This part was in the shade up against another plant in my little pond. So I'm going to cut back almost all of the tall stuff and probably half of the shorter stuff. Actually has a flower on it. I doubt that the seeds will be viable since it's just now opening up and there's nothing in here to pollinate it, but then again, I don't know if these need pollination. So that's gonna be, that's how I'm gonna leave this for now. Now to pot it up, I'm gonna go a little bit bigger. You want to go about 1 inch or 2 bigger. I think this might be a little bit too big, but it's what I had that was like the next size up. So the first thing I'm going to do is, it already has a screen in it to help keep the soil inside. Once it gets wet, it shouldn't be a problem getting out. But I'm going to put some soil in here. Then I'm going to push it around a little bit on the sides. And then I'm actually going to put this pot down in there. It's really close to the same size. It might be a little bit, but it is close enough. So there's too much in there. This will really help doing this, putting the pot in the pot will really help when I go to set this one back down in there. So I've got that just sitting in there now. And now I'm just going to fill it all the way around the sides. It'll just make it much easier. Push it down in there. And it should stay pretty much in place when I pull this other pot out. Some more. Papyrus is actually a grass. Okay, we'll start with that and we'll see how we go. Oh, perfect. Okay, look, we have a stink bug. Time out while I take care of him. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside for a second because I may have to cut this off. Yeah. Okay, you gotta be smarter than the pot. That should be enough. Yes, look at those roots. Okay, push that out of the way. Oh, not, my pot was like, I don't know, let me see if I push it down in there. Yep, I think we'll be okay. I don't have to pour water on top when I water this, since it has to sit in the water all the time, so it's okay that it's right level at the top. It's not perfectly centered, but I don't care. It's in there. Fill in the sides a little more. Now, in the spring, I will, if I feel like I need to, I may put some rocks or something on top of the soil to keep it from floating out, but it should be wet enough that I don't think that's going to be a real issue. So now what I'm going to do here, you can't see this yet, but I have a little fountain here that I'm going to put this in. And for the papyrus, we want to make sure they are sitting in water. We can go up about halfway on their part. Proven Winners doesn't recommend that you bury the crown in the water, which is this part right here where the, right at the top where the things come up out of the soil. So, I'll go about, we'll see about how, depends on how much water I want to put in this little fountain. I may have to sit this maybe on top of something. Maybe I'll just keep a little bit of water in there. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. These will need lots of bright light. They are part sun to full sun. They can handle full sun, and which is full sun is at least 6 hours a day of sunlight. So, okay. So there's that. Bright light is usually, at least in my area, is a southern window, light exposure. So I'm going to, if I'm going to put it in a place where it's not really getting full sun, but it gets a lot of bright light from the room, and if it starts to look like it's not doing very well, then I will either move it or I will get a plant light to actually shine down on top of it. So I have the water to about halfway up on that pot. And it'd be really cute if I can find some other plants to fill that in, but that's for another time. Awesome. So if I need more light, I have another outlet here. I could actually put a light right above this for it to come down. Uh-oh. So that water is actually dripping on the pot, so I will have to put something in there to catch that, but I'll figure that out. So anyhow, if you have any questions about overwintering plants in your house, just drop a comment down below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic, awesome day.